about Ymir first. Let's talk about Ymir-chan, the slave, which is honestly the whole storyline is about her being a slave. Yeah, that's like everything that matters is that she's a slave, right? But let's first break down. I want to break down the Yggdrasil part, okay? Because this is something that because I had a theory video way before, okay? I was goddamn on the money in my theory video, right? Let me start by explaining that. I have it in my head already, so I can explain this to you first. Okay, let's review the episode. You know, the Titan power, right? The 9 world and so on. So, let's first explain this part, right? Obviously, I'm Swedish, since I know my Norse mythology, I can read my rune script, right? Attack on Titan has always been very based, right, on Norse mythology. And it's very clear here because the actual power there, the source of the power, is the caterpillar. But the caterpillar is inside this Yggdrasil tree, right? It's inside this like gigantic world tree that she falls into, right? And of course, Yggdrasil then is this gigantic tree, right, that connects all the worlds in Norse mythology. And if you look at the ending of last season, of part 1, it's all the branches flying around and so on, right? Because there are 3 branches, right? But they're also like time branches or alternative universe, whatever, you know, branches of paths and time and so on, right? And that's of course also how the Titan are connected, right? Every Titan is connected through paths, right? Which is like a mental thing, but also a time and shit, right? But to think about it as branches, right? You know, every branch is connecting a Titan, right? So, and also of course how the Found Titan can control all Titans, because every Titan is connected to the tree, right? You know, so if the Found Titan is a tree, right? Yggdrasil, the world tree, that's the original power. Then every Titan, right, has a branch to the original tree, like a network, right? And that's how they can control everyone at the same time. And also, of course, change the memory and so on. So I had this theory for like years, right? Because I think it's pretty obvious that that's how it's like a tree, right? That's how it kind of connects, right? Literally. So that's one thing. Another thing for that you should point out here is that there's 9 Titans, right? 9 Titan powers, and of course in Norse mythology you have 9 worlds. So you have Asgard, Midgard and so on, right? And Hell and so on, right? You have Helheim and so on. Yeah, you have different Jotunheim and so on. Yeah. You have different 9 worlds, right? And these 9 worlds are also, of course, connected through the tree, right? So, you know, again, 9 Titan powers, 9 shifters, 9 worlds and so on, right? It all comes into that. So it's very, very, of course, Norse mythology. And obviously you have Juttar, right? In Norse mythology, or Jättar, as it's called today in Swedish, but Juttar in the past, which of course is giants. And Ymir, of course, being one of the original giants and so on, right? So it all kind of comes back to that. Ymir was the name from Norse mythology, right? So it's very, very heavily based on Norse mythology and Yggdrasil, how that works and so on. I guess the only thing it actually lacks, you could argue the caterpillar is that it's Nidhugg. You don't really have like a Nidhugg, I guess, in North, yeah, and I guess Ratata and Rakaska. But again, I think the only thing that what I feel it lacks is probably Nidhugg, the evil dragon demon snake thing in the bottom of Yggdrasil. But I guess a caterpillar kind of represents that, right? She falls into the water and gets grabbed by the caterpillar tree thing, and yeah, that one is in the root of the tree. So I guess the caterpillar represents the evil dragon, right? That is like one of the evil sources of Norse mythology. So I'll give you an episode, I feel, for the actual storyline of Second Tournament, because this is the actual bad guy. This is the actual true bad guy power. It's a goddamn caterpillar inside of Yggdrasil tree thing, and this is the real power source of all the Titans. This like tree caterpillar thing, like seriously. And this is a real bad guy, the Ymir or Eren has to defeat or whatever. It is a very strange thing. And without spoiling anything, I think the reason why so many people hate the ending is because how they defeat this thing or whatever, how it's concluded, it's just the crap. Honestly, I think it's just crap. The smoke scene is so stupid, and I think is almost probably the worst part of the last chapter is how this caterpillar is explained in the last chapter or second to last chapter and so on. Yeah, it is ridiculously weird, convoluted, and also kind of just ignored by the author. It's very, very strange, very, very strange. So I think that this caterpillar is probably one of the most hated thing of Attack on Titan. But it is so strange. It's just like, what? Yeah, and then it is. I was spoiled, but it is. Oh god, this is so stupid. I'm getting some PTSD, man. I'm like, holy shit, it is so stupid. Again, probably my least favorite part of the ending. What happens to Caterpillar? It is so weird. It is so weird. Right? It really is. But anyway, that's how Eren, of course, survives to, right? Because he just died, right, in a way, from, of course, GABI. But then because of the caterpillar cheating, but the caterpillar is the actual god, right? It's not actually Ymir, it's the caterpillar that is like behind. And I'm not even kidding. It is the caterpillar, because it's gonna be explained later that it is actually the caterpillar. Ymir has to defeat something to free them or whatever, yeah. So the caterpillar connects to Eren's head and cheats, right, to connect them. Because he has the founding titan power. So this is actually how it is. Because Eren has the founding titan power, he's actually the caterpillar. That is how it is, okay? I'm not kidding. The caterpillar is the founding titan power. It's the true power of the titans, right? So the caterpillar cheating, that's the reason how Eren's head is still attached, right? Because the caterpillar can connect his head and so on. Because his nerve system is actually the caterpillar. Because he has the titan power. Like, that is actually literally how the story is here. That is basically how he can survive this thing. How he can not die by dying, because he awakens the caterpillar power, right? By going into the spaceship, right? So it is that so the caterpillar is actually the founding titan powers. Holy shit, man. So yeah, that's the caterpillar. Is the real bad guy. That's right! The caterpillar. He was the bad guy all along. And I think one massive issue here, and I'm gonna sit there a bit as ranting and saying, but I think I point out one issue with the caterpillar, just straight up, right, is that the caterpillar has no personality. That's why I think that people really hate the ending, right? Because the caterpillar and this reveal here of the caterpillar actually being the true bad guy, or whatever we call it, the original bad guy, the OG bad guy, maybe Fritz, I guess, but ignoring Fritz, like this is the real bad guy, that the god caterpillar shit. Because the caterpillar is just trying to, I don't know, the caterpillar is something like, he just wants to live or something. Yeah, the caterpillar has like no personality. He's like, I just want to kill people and eat them or something. Like, he's like a goddamn zombie or something. The caterpillar's personality is basically, I'm hungry, right, or something. Yeah, so it's like the most boring kind of, motivation. Oh, he's just like a monster that just wants to feed or something. And he does that by creating more titans or something. It was never explained at all in the why he does it. But it's like, I guess he gets stronger or something if all the time it eats people or something. But also it lived in like the world tree water for some reason, and for that matter there are more caterpillars maybe or something, because Zeke is gonna like talk about more caterpillars, but that's never explained. But so I'm just like, what? Why is the caterpillar, and why? And also, why is it no foreshadowing for the goddamn caterpillar? It is the tree with the branches and Yggdrasil and the 9 worlds and so on. At least that shit has been like foreshadowed. That is very, very Norse mythology. But this goddamn caterpillar just comes in from nowhere and is the actual true antagonist or something. And this is like, it feels like Naruto, okay? It feels like the last bad girl for Naruto. Oh, I'm actually the goddess. You're like, why? Was it Madara the bad guy? Was it Madara the bad guy for like 10 years? No, this is the woman that's the bad guy. I appeared out of nowhere. It's a very Naruto ending, I feel. I know most people really hate the Ymir storyline. Really hate it, right? Most people really do, honestly. You're gonna find a lot of defenders for the famous anime, right? But people. But I think at this moment here, when Ymir is like, I want to have his babies, I want to be his soldier or whatever, right? At this moment here, I feel that the Ymir storyline kind of makes sense, right? Like, no, actually, no. It doesn't make sense, but it's like, you can kind of buy it. But then in the last ending, when they're gonna explain why she's doing it, you're like, oh no, it's just so stupid. It's like, why did you have to say that? It's like, but here is a mystery, why she's still a slave. You're like, okay, fine, like, I can live with the mystery. And then you explain the mystery, you're like, okay, you lost me. Like, why did we go in this direction? Why did you have to go an extra mile to do that? Why did you have to go into that thing, right? Then you're sort of wondering, it's like, holy shit, is that necessary? And that is probably why, because there are 2 endings of the manga. There are 2 endings, right? And the addition ending, with more storyline, adds more to this. And that is like, oh my god, you should not have added that. but anyway, so Ymir is a slave, right? And her whole thing is that it's kind of like, I don't want to be too negative, but let's go from the negative standpoint, I guess, because it's easy, I suppose, easy to complain, right? But the thing with Ymir, which is very true to say, right, is that she's the god, basically, the goddess. She has all 9 Titan powers, okay? All 9 Titan powers, and she can, defeat anyone, right, and so on, and she can easily kill her husband, right, her slave master. But she's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm still a slave, right? So her whole storyline is that she's a slave, even though she has the greatest power on the planet, by far the best power. Again, she has all the 9 Titan powers, so she's much, much stronger than any other character we've seen. It's much stronger than Eren's own, right? That we've seen, right? So she has the infinite time, power, and everything. She's like, I'm gonna be a slave. And the issue, though, I have to say here, and this is also why I don't like time. I think it's also an issue when you introduce time to Anne's storyline, right? A big issue, honestly, is that when you know her motivation, it's still like, but you have time powers, girls. You know what I mean? If she wants to marry this guy and get children and so on, right? And he cut off her tongue right side, she could have used her time powers to prevent that. She could have changed time to have a better situation in life, right? And still reach her end goal anyway, because she has, infinite time power. There is a huge issue, I think, from the plot point. As soon as you introduce that Eren can change the time, you're like, oh, but she has much better time power, because she has, the infinite power, right? She has much, much grander power than Eren has. It's a little bit, again, like compared to Marvel, right? It's like Thanos, right? She literally has like the gauntlet. She has all the 9 powers, right? She can do whatever she wants, right? She has reality and time and everything, yeah. So it's like, but if she wanted to do this shit, she could have done it in a much better way, right? She could have reversed time now to, like, figure out a better life for herself and still reach the same goal. But a better goal, I mean, improved version of the same goal. So that really, I think, puts a wet blanket on everything with Ymir, right? Because you're like, oh, she has all these powers, and you just refuse to use them. And I think one thing I have to say, in this flashback, I wish they actually showed her using other powers. It was kind of lazy flashback, honestly, in my opinion. A little bit, I have to say, because she's just transforming, right? I'm a big titan. But she has, again, all the powers. So she could have, sent bows or whatever. She just fought them like a normal titan. But of course, she was just fighting normal humans, so she didn't need power. But still. And then, of course, he makes the children eat her, right? And I do love it, of course, that they have the name, right? Marley Rose. The walls of the Titan walls, right? That are now, of course, crumbling, turning into cross Titans. It's actually named for those, right? That's a cool thing, I think. However, though, there is, I wouldn't call it a plot hole, but it's a plot... I don't know what to call it, but there is a lack of plot in here, right, before after they eat her, yeah. They have more family fantasy in there. So after, they just eaten their mom, right? And that, again, that scene is in the ending, right? Ending 3, right? Yeah, the ending, season 2, but the third ending, right? I believe. So that's crazy, right? Yeah, season 2's ending shows them eating their mom, right? And again, that was probably like 5 years before it happened in the manga. So that, I give a lot of credit to Ishiyama, right, the author. He clearly has a lot of things pre-planned, right? He clearly planned out the wall girls and the eating their mom and so on. He clearly planned out the Ymir backstory many years before he actually appeared in the manga, right? He clearly did. So that's really good. And so on, right? So it's a very brutal backstory. This is why I struggle so much with, these last chapters and the anime of this anime, right? Because some of the parts I really do like, right? Again, that the girls are the named walls, that's great. That he did foreshadow this thing in the ending and so on, right? Like 5 years ago or whatever. That's awesome, so on. And the build up for that and how the power connects and so on. So there's a lot of like great foreshadowing and world building and so on, right? But then there's also this like logical lack of like, why can't Ymir use time powers better? Why can't he not be a slave and all this crap, right? So it's like a really good, I think, again, world building, shadowing, but really like the character motivation is so lacking, right? So it's a really like, it's something I really like here, something I really don't like, right? It's very, it's confusing. I don't know. It's a perplexing feeling, right? It's a piece of feeling. I keep saying it, but I do really have like a hate-love relationship, right, with Attack on Titan. It's like some part that I really like and some part that I really dislike, right, in the same episode, right? And I feel the whole sort of force of that. As I said earlier, after the time skip, I feel almost the whole storyline is like hate, love every episode, not every, but a lot of them, right? And I feel this episode here again is like some part of this Ymir backstory, like this part here, I think it's really good, right? It's really good, which is the daughters, it's really good, brutal, cannibalism, but really interesting, really good, right? And then, but her dying from the spear makes no sense. She's like a freaking goddess, and we've seen the other Titan easily survive that, and she's way stronger than them. But it's just like, I don't want to live anymore. You know what I mean? She's like, I'd rather die. It's like, I guess you want to die. That is the actual motivation, right? She was like, I'm quitting. I'm AFK in this shit, yeah. She was like, whatever, I'm tired of this thing. Is this like, okay, she decided to die, but if she wanted to die, couldn't she just not work for him? You know what I mean? It's just so weird. Like, it's like her personality doesn't really feels real, right? It's like, okay, but you could have done it earlier. If you want to die, couldn't you just kill, whatever, yeah. It just feels so weird, right? How... Because her motivation later should make you not want to die, right, or something. So it doesn't match up. Like the puzzle bits of her mentality doesn't become a person or something. It's so strange. One thing I have to say as a negative though on this whole daughter thing, which is never explained, as pointed out here. It's not a big deal, but I think it's kind of strange. Is that she has 3 daughters, right? It's the 3 walls. But I think it would make more sense if she had 9 daughters. Of course, my point is that if she had 9 daughters, right, they would eat her, right, the original Titan, right, with all the powers, and then they would have 1, of course, power each, because it's never explained whatsoever happened here. So she has 3 daughters, right? They ate their mom, right? Then of course their kids are gonna eat them, right? You know, you get the whole idea, right? We didn't know that with Reach and Eren and so on. But why does her 9 powers? Why does it become 3 powers or something, right? And then it becomes like 9 powers. Again, it doesn't make any sense, honestly. It makes sense, but it's never explained, right? It's never explained. So it's not a plot hole. It's more like a plot, I don't know, lack of plot explanation, something. Yeah, because she has 9 powers or something. She has powers, right? She has all the powers. 3 kids, I guess they have 3 power each. And then they had like what? Grandkids? 3 grand. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like what happened there, right? And like what happened if one of them got like 1 kid and then the other one got like 8 kids something or something? Yeah, like how it does. I mean, you know what I mean. Like if let's say the first daughter had 1 kid, right? Would her kid then get 3 powers, and then the cousins would have like 1 power or something, and then eventually it became 9 or whatever. I mean, it's truly never explained how it became 9 powers, and I think it would easily be resolved, right? If she had, of course, 9 children and they ate her, they would have 1 power each. It would easily solve the issue, right? And now it's just like 3 kids, and then eventually during the years they had 9 powers. It just happened. Why isn't it 10 powers? Why isn't it 11, right? Why isn't it 20 powers? It just doesn't make any... It's not possible. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, I think the core is because, you know, 9 worlds, right, in Norse mythology. So I think it's like he based it on Norse mythology, but again, he doesn't explain how they got there. But it's not a plot hole, it's more like it should have been explained somehow. So the rally finally happens, and I do let Armin's like, Okashia Mikasa, what is he doing? He's straight what he's doing. He's doing something weird. He's like, yeah, she's releasing on Titan. It's kind of weird, yeah. Julian's like, what? But the Eldian genocide? What is he doing? Aaron's like, Eldian genocide? That's for losers. What about total genocide? Yeah. But I think I respect Eren in that sense though, right? When his brother's plan is to just murder a race of people, right? Eren is like, what if I murdered all the races? Yeah, Eren is like, what if I extend that and take your plot point and make it way grander and I destroy the whole planet instead? That's way better, yeah. In that sense, I do love it. Eren is like, no, I'm going for the 100% complete in here. Yeah, I'm going for every kill, right? Yeah, just killing one race, that is lame. Yeah, Zeke is a loser, man. Zeke took the big L there, right? Eren is like, no, I'm going for the full game here. And yeah, I do love it, and his broadcasting tells everyone, I'm gonna kill everyone. He tells them, I'm going for total domination here. I'm gonna be the last one alive, yeah. He tells everyone that I'm coming for you. That's why I like the opening so much, right? The rumbling opening, because the opening's like, coming for you! It's like, yeah, it's like Eren singing, like, I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm coming for everyone on the planet. That being said, though, this is gonna go into a little bit of how the world works, I guess. But it's basically our planet, right? It's just like flipped around, but it's our planet, and they do originate kinda from UK. So this is not really relevant actually whatsoever in the storyline. The only relevance, I guess, how the planet is because there are seas somewhere, right? So if you think about it like an Earth, it's gonna take them longer time to get to some countries. Yeah, I mean, the only relevance really is that, yeah, certainly it's better to be in America, right? Because it's further away from Titans, right? They come from Europe. Because obviously the Marley is in Germany, right? So, yeah, they're more also like Italy and Germany, so right? And they kind of started, of course, as Romans, right? In Italy. Which makes sense, right? Because, again, it's Europe. And, you know, they're supposed to be evil empire. And I guess it's never explained how big the Marley Empire is. But I guess we can assume that, you know, it's basically Europe, right? They conquered most of Europe, except, of course, the island here, like UK, right? They kind of conquered the rest, right? Because, of course, UK is like the paradise, right? With the wars and so on, Titans. So, and that also means that doing the whole sending over Titans, the Eldians, right, which they did, is very easy because it's like the English Channel, right? Between France, like the Calais and so on, right? And London. And basically London's kind of where they are, right? With this sort of episode 1. So it's very, very short distance, right? Between the water, actually. So I don't know. They never really explain it in the manga either. But basically, it's very, very short distance, right? From where they start this rumbling to like Germany and France and all that, yeah, to the Marley Empire. It's like, you know, it's like stone throw. It's actually very, very short distance between these two countries, right? Again, picture Europe, right? And the rumbling starting in like London, going over to like Paris and Berlin, right? It's not that far. It's very, very short actually. So Eren is certainly gonna destroy the Marley Empire pretty quickly because they basically get over it immediately. Yeah, it's actually a very short distance, right, between them countries because it is basically our murder map. But you know, it's that's one, I guess, relevance, and the other relevance is that yeah, if you're on the other side, if you're like in Australia or something, you're way safer, right, from these titans. But there's one thing though that I was thinking about the rumbling is that the rumbling, okay, he's releasing all these titans. But, you know, the further they move away, right, the further they actually spread apart. Because, you know, you have, like, the is between them, right? They get bigger and bigger. So you're definitely not safe, but if you want to run away from shit, you want to be, like, in New Zealand or Australia. But you want to be in the water. You want to have water, right? You want to be far away in South America. You want to be, you know, further away from Europe. You want to have water in between you. And they have to spread out and try to kill you, right? So... but at the same time though, as Eren showed, he can telepathically find everyone, right? Because the whole Yggdrasil 3 shit that I mentioned earlier. So he can find everyone, so you probably can't hide though, right? You can't hide from the shit. Yeah, he's like, I can sense everyone's brains, right? It's kind of like Professor X, right? I can feel everyone's brain. You're over there. So it's like, yeah, you can't really escape it, right? You can't really escape the Titans because it's like, he can detect your brain wherever you are and see your future and past and shit, right? So I guess he also predicts where you're gonna move. Yeah, god damn it. God damn it. I guess Eren can also predict your future, so he should be able to predict where you're running away. God damn it. You really can't escape the shit because, yeah, he can also know where you're hiding. But yeah, the best way for me to hide, I guess, still though, like Australia or something, yeah, it would be the furthest away from it. He's coming for you, babe. He's coming for you. Next episode, we did see a little bit, of course, Bone Caterpillar Eren though, which is not the ugliest thing ever, but yeah. What an episode. What a goddamn episode. What do you guys think? Controversial. It's gonna be a lot of that discussion about Ymir, right? And the more you know of Ymir, the less you like it. I think most people are gonna be like, is that how it is? Now then, anyway, take a short break, guys, and I'll see you guys soon, of course, with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, obviously, I am in Demon Slayer, right? I'm enemy only. Last episode, everyone died or something. So, I'm just like, I don't know how they're gonna handle that shit. But I think it's out now, and I am looking for a lot to see how they're gonna, like, twist that shit, right? How are Tanjiro and the boys and so on? I guess Nesco's gonna save them, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I tried last episode to figure out a good explanation of how they're gonna, like, turn it around. I was like, I don't know, man. I feel they're pretty screwed right now in honestly, I feel like, how are they gonna turn this around? But anyway, check the chat here, guys, before I go to Demon Slayer. Where did I leave the chat? I have way too many stuff up. It's my problem always when I do anime stuff. Oh shit, man. Oh my god, I have way too many. Where did I put the chat? Here it is. Sorry. But yeah. The episode should be out in 2 hours. Oh yeah, one last thing before I forget. That's good point. Before I forget. Again, I will say it here again. Okay, before I forget. Next week, it might not be an episode. I mentioned it during the opening, right? Next episode, the Olympics, are doing right now. So next episode, it might not be next week. But I don't know exactly. I just read this morning that it's delayed next week. So it might be hours. Or it might not be airing. Right? Usually when they write delayed, they actually mean it won't be airing. But I haven't confirmed this. But I pointed out again here, might not be an episode next week, right? Might have to wait 2 weeks for the rumbling continuation. Certainly, that's a possibility. Just so you guys know, right? Just so everyone know. And when I get some confirmation, I'll probably do an update or maybe I tweet it or whatever, right? Yeah, expect next episode to maybe not air. That's usually how it is when they have some sport events or whatever. Sometimes they air it like an hour late or something. So that might. So another possibility is I guess they air it the next day. It happens sometimes, and you know. So I just pointed out there. So we might not have an episode next week. But anyway, take a short break. Let's see you guys. Demon Slayer coming up soon here. Episode 43, I believe, right? Yeah. So see you guys and have a great day.